Alright guys, hey, welcome back to another episode of talking about Avengers Infinity War. We're going to be talking about the highlights, my favorite parts, my reviews about it, and the works. Just talking about the movie because we're getting ready for Avengers Endgame. It's coming out soon, so yeah, we're doing this. And feel free to watch the video. Right now we're in the part where Gamora and Thanos are about to talk. And Thanos' ship, and Gamora just threw her meal at his chair.
I always hated that chair.
You know what's happened since then? The children born have known nothing but full bellies and clear skies.
In this part we get to see how we get to know more about Thanos and what his motives are.
If life is left unchecked, life will cease to exist. It needs correction.
You don't know that!
I'm the only one who knows that. At least I'm the only one with the will to act on it.
I gotta say this. In that part, it kind of showed me like, wow, he really is crazy, like Gamora said. Like, you're insane. But at the same time, he's got points. You kind of agree to him, but at the same time, his way of like correcting the planet, the world, the galaxy is just so wrong. But I thought this too, what if in the endgame things are better? What if after doing what he did, really did correct a lot of things? I mean, I don't know until we see the movie, but like, what if it feels like that? But at the same time, I don't know. It just makes you think about it, you know? And it also makes you realize like there are a lot of people who think like Thanos. I really honestly believe that someone who's running this country could think like him. People who think killing people in order to correct the world is what's going to make it better. There are just some people who have different motives, they're a different way of thinking, and they believe strongly that, let me just pause this really quick. They strongly believe like the way they think of making things better or fixing things is really how to do it, you get me? Even though they don't see like the wrong side of it. And I remember taking the physical, I don't know, I forgot the name of the class, but where they make you think like, what is right and wrong? You know, is Thanos really wrong or is he right? To him, he believes he's right. So it just really depends on like what you believe in. What he believes, everything that he believes in is just right. He's right. Anything that you try to tell him, convince him your way of seeing things, the way you see it than the way he does, he's going to see it wrong. Even though to us, we understand where he's coming from, but at the same time, the way he wants to do these things is just wrong. It's just evil at the same time. But then again, it's just, I don't know, it just makes you think. So we're now in the part where my favorite character is being tortured, like she's being split, everything of her body parts is being split. So I was like, damn, he caught her. And he mentions how she snuck aboard his ship. We get to see like what happened to Nebula after the events of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. She did say after she left Gamora, I'm gonna go kill Thanos on her own, and Gamora's like, I don't think that's possible. Thanos did say she almost nearly succeeded, but she gets caught, which sucks. So I was just like, damn. And her scream, man, I was just like, oh my god. He is evil. Like, this kind of shows like how cruel he is, man. He's just crazy, man. Which makes him like a perfect villain. That sucks, because like I thought Gamora was being honest. I thought she's like, I have no idea where the Soul Stone is. But he knew all along. When he saw Nebula's memory files, he's like, oh no, she knows where it is. I was like, damn. She did a good job, that actress, screaming like that, like making it sound really painful. I couldn't take it. Poor Nebula, man. She was just treated badly by Thanos. Because he loved Gamora more than Nebula. I mean, he tortured Nebula. Look what he made her to be. That's why I'm just like, damn it. I really hope she kicks his ass in the next film. I'm rooting for Nebula. She's my favorite character, and I'm really hoping she does kick ass in the next film. So here comes the part where Rocket talks to Thor, and Thor lets out how he really feels.
And you said your sister and your dad
Both dead.
but still got a mom, though?
Killed by a dark elf.
The best friend?
Stabbed through the heart.
You sure you're up to this particular murder mission?
You know, I'm 1,500 years old. I've killed twice as many enemies as that, and every one of them would have rather killed me, but none succeeded. I'm only alive because fate wants me alive. Thanos is just the latest in a long line of bastards, and he'll be the latest to feel my vengeance. Fate wills it so.
Mm-hmm. And what if you're wrong?
Well, if I'm wrong, then what more could I lose?
Poor Thor. Now that part, what's his name? Chris Hemsworth. He did a really good job in that part. I always loved him as Thor, but that part, seeing him like in his weakest moments, was just so good. It was just so. It even gets you like so into the character as well, even more because in this moment he's at realizing like, damn, he's lost everybody, and you can't help but to feel sad about it. One thing I did mention to my friends that in Thor Ragnarok, I wish it would have had some emotion to it, because I understand. I will agree, it was funny, but I think what it lacked was a little bit more of emotion, because Thor lost his dad, and then he lost his sister. Like, he had to fight against his sister. There was also some other emotional stuff that I thought so many missed opportunities that they could have added some emotional moments in that part. Yeah, because I felt like in the beginning it was rushed too quickly. Some parts. I know a lot of you probably might not see that, but I did. I did notice it. It's just my opinion about it. A lot of you enjoyed it so much that you didn't notice that, but I think it lacked emotion. Like I said, it was funny, but I think they moved too quickly for him to mourn about his dad. It didn't have a chance to, talk about his sister. Because, yeah, like, Hela came out of nowhere. He barely finds out that he has a stepsister, I think. And, yeah, stepsister, right? I think it's a sister, whatever, it's a sister. He barely finds out about her. And I would have thought they would have had a scene where he's just like, now I have to fight against my sister. It's like, I had no clue I had a sister, and now it's like, I have one. I don't know what to do. Do I really have to fight her, or is there a way I could like get to her? You know what I mean? Like those little moments, I felt like they never had a chance to talk about that, with Thor talking about it. And I felt in this movie, I was like, that's what it needed. This is what it needed. And I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of glad they did it here instead, because it was perfect. Thor gets to like mourn about the loss of his dad, the loss of his mom, the loss of his brother now, and his best friend. He lost everybody, and then half of his people from Xandar, right? Oh my God, no! I don't know. I don't even know this. His home, whatever. Sorry. Anyways, so it's just like, put yourself in his shoes. How would you feel if you lost almost everything? I know his girlfriend Jane, Natalie Portman, the actress. I don't know if she's still out there. Did she survive the snap? They don't mention that. But I know a lot of people didn't mind that she didn't come back in Thor Ragnarok. I love Natalie Portman. I think she's a beautiful, talented actress. Very talented. It sucked that she didn't come out, but I was like, I still enjoyed it either way, so I was just like, it's okay she didn't come out, but I was hoping that she'll come back maybe later on in the franchise. I was hoping maybe Thor will go back to her. I don't know. But then they said, no, he could move on with Valkyrie now. So I'm just like, really? I don't know, man. They say Valkyrie's bisexual, her character. So I'm just like, I would like for her to stay like either she's bisexual or lesbian. I don't know. I think they did mention that she's bisexual. So I'm just like, no, her going with Thor would have Marvel miss another opportunity to have a bisexual character or gay character in the movie. And I could be wrong. Some of you are probably like, no, she's lesbian. If she is, I'm sorry. But you know what I mean? Like they could miss an opportunity with that. Because if she is bisexual or a lesbian, I feel like keep her. Like have her have a relationship with a same sex couple. We're in a new generation where it should be. People shouldn't. It shouldn't bother you, people. If it bothers you, it shouldn't bother you at all. Live into today's society. Y'all are still living back in the days where back then it was not allowable or whatever. It's against the religion or the whatever. But I'm not gonna get into that. They should allow it. So, anyways, back to Thor. How he's feeling in this moment. I was already gonna go on a whole different discussion there, but yeah, Thor. I really like that scene because it made me feel. It did bring a little tear to my eye because I was just like, damn, Thor, like, poor guy. And you see, that would have been good if they added more emotion into Thor Ragnarok, but it is what it is. They're not gonna go back and change it. It's funny. It was still enjoyable. So yeah, I'm glad that they put it in this film. And Rocket's just like, I love Rocket. I think he's not much of an asshole ever since Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 because he's already cried twice. And I like how he gives Thor a new eyeball because I was just like, I kind of didn't like that he loses his eye. I was like, no, I want to see him with those two beautiful blue eyes. And I like that say that the Russell brothers are like, no, we're gonna give Thor both his eyes back. So let's have Rocket give him back an eyeball. But I didn't like that it's brown and blue. Maybe in the next movie, Rocket will fix that and make it blue to make it match. I wanted to say this too. I like how Groot in this movie, he's a teenager, how he's just always so drawn into his video game. And it kind of represents how our society is, our generation is now. All these kids ever do, I mostly see this. All these kids are just so into tablets or their phones or video games. They're just so drawn to that. They're not even enjoying playing outside or like looking at what's outside, the birds or whatever, the grass, the colors, everything. They're not appreciating that. They're just so drawn into that. And I thought that's hilarious. And I like how the actor who plays the giant dwarf, dwarves. Sorry. I love that actor, by the way. I love his voice and everything. I think he's another talented actor. I'm glad that he came out in this film. I liked him in X-Men Apocalypse. He comes out in Game of Thrones. He's come in a lot of good movies, and I think he's such a terrific actor. And interesting that to see that we get to see like, yeah, where did that that gauntlet that Thanos wears in order for him to put the stones and how he could be able to control it. It was good that they showed where it came from. Kill Thanos. Alright, now we're in one of my favorite parts where they're fixing Nebula. That alien is putting her back to normal. And then her eye pops out. And then she just kills him. I was like, oh, you go, Nebula. You see, show them why I love you. So now we're in the part where Tony Stark, Doctor Strange, and Peter Parker make it to the planet Titan. And they're about to fight against the Guardians of the Galaxy team. Then this cape goes on Drax's face. I just love how in every Avengers movie, they always have to have a fight against, any new characters they come across. For example, when in the very first Avengers movie, when Thor meets Iron Man, they fight, and then Captain America too, and then Thor against Captain Hulk, Black Widow versus the Hulk, and all this other stuff. In Avengers Age of Ultron, they fought against Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. This one, they're fighting against the Guardians of the Galaxy to see who's stronger, Chew the F out! Oh, I love this.
Where is Gamora? Who's Gamora? I'll do you one better. Why is Gamora?
Tell me where the girl is.
Oh my god, Drax is just hilarious.
Let's do it. You shoot my guy and I'll blast him. Let's go. Do it, Quill. I can take it.
No, you can't take it.
Wait, what? Down? All right, let me ask you this one time. What master do you serve?
What master do I serve? What am I supposed to say? Jesus? Yeah, that's on Earth, dipshit.
He's such an idiot, but oh, what master do you serve? Oh, what master do I serve? What am I supposed to say? Jesus? Oh my god, that cracked me up when I first saw it. I was just.
You're the one Thor told us about.
You'll have to restart the forge. Awaken the heart of the dying star. Rabbit.
Rabbit. I love that when Thor calls Rocket Rabbit.
What the hell happened to this planet? It's 8 degrees off its axis.
I have to show you this part. This part made me laugh so much watching Mantis jumping in the background. So you've seen that part where Mantis is in the background jumping up in the... I was cracking up because she's just like playing around. I'm just like, oh my god. So adorable. Another more reason to love her.
Are you yawning? In the middle of this while I'm breaking it down? Huh? Did you hear what I said?
Stop listening after you said we need a plan.
Okay, Mr. Clean's on his own page.
See, not winging it isn't really what they do.
What exactly is it that they do?
Kick names, take ass.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh my god, that part was hilarious. When they're like, winging it isn't... Peter Quill's like, winging it isn't really what they do. And then Peter Parker's like, yeah, so what is it that they do? You know, Mantis and Drax, and Mantis, as adorable as she is, she's like, we kick names, take ass. And she looks at him like, oh. It just says, it was even more funny because when you see Robert Downey Jr.'s reaction, it's just like, I'm dealing with a bunch of idiots. I'm teaming up. This is who I have with me as a team now. Peter Parker and all these goofballs. And I'm like trying to be friends with Doctor Strange back
We
there.
don't know what it means.
This whole part is just hilarious.
We gotta coalesce. Because if all we come at him with is a plucky attitude...
Dude, don't call us plucky. We don't know what it means. All right, we're optimistic, yes. I like your plan, except it sucks. So let me do the plan, and that way it might be really good.
It's all about the dance off to save the universe.
What dance off? It's not a. It's not a.
Oh.
It's not
I can footloose the movie.
exactly like Footloose. Is it still the greatest movie in history?
It never was.
Don't encourage such
That was just like totally killing his trip. Like, is it still the greatest movie? Is it still one of the greatest movie in history? And it's like, it never was. And he's like, excuse me?
That's a compliment. Don't forget, I'm half human, so that 50% of me that's stupid, that's 100% you.
Your math is blowing my mind.
Excuse me? But does your friend often do that?
Now this part. When Doctor Strange was using the Time Stone
Be back here.
to look at all the
Hey, what
possibilities,
was that?
outcomes that could happen during their fight with Thanos.
Ultimate futures. To see all the possible outcomes of the coming conflict.
How many did you see?
14,605.
14 million outcomes?
How many we win?
And then this part.
One.
When Stark asks him, how many do we win out of all those visions, different alternative outcomes of what could happen during our fight with Thanos? 14 million, how many did we win? And when he hesitates to answer him and then he finally answers one, I was like, are you serious? Just one fight out of all those visions, they win. So I'm like, damn. And that moment, I think that's what makes the movie more serious, because I'm sure, I don't know what your reaction was, but in that moment, for me, it was just like, damn, then they better like plan this out good, because if they screw up, that's it. So they only have one chance to win. So it's like, ugh. So I was just like, damn. And now comes another favorite part of mine. After hearing about that, and they only have one, and the music gets intense. I love this part of the sound in the movie. The soundtrack in this part, when Gamora and Thanos go to Volmir, the moment when the orchestra, let me talk about the soundtrack. The moment the soundtrack starts playing, the moment after Stark says, "How many do we win?" and the music starts playing. It's like a violin going like super fast, like intense music, and then Doctor Strange says one. That's like everything gets so damn serious. The music, the background soundtrack in that moment, I believe it is called. I wrote it down. A Small Price. I had to download that part of the soundtrack in the movie because I thought that part was so good. It was my favorite part. And that's when the movie, like, you realize, like, damn, this movie is so damn good. You're just so into it. A lot of stuff is going on. All these characters are finally coming together. And now Gamora and Thanos are on their way to Volmir. So I thought that's my favorite part of the soundtrack. That soundtrack is super good. I love it. It just fits so well with, like, what's going on. Now comes a really cool part where I'm sure a lot of us didn't expect this. A surprising character that comes out. I was like, who the heck is that? You know who I thought it was at first? I was like, is that Mistress Death that people keep talking about? They thought their theory, like, the reason why Thanos is doing all this is just for Mistress Death, because he has a crush with Mistress Death. He loves Mistress Death. I thought it was Mistress Death, but I was like, no, that's a man's voice. And then when you see who it really is, I was blown away. I was all like, that was a cool cameo. That was a nice surprise to see Red Skull come out. Because I know a lot of you, especially my friend Luis, he's all like, I wanted to see, like, they keep saying it's possible that Red Skull might have survived and so possibly some other villains. So he strongly believed that Red Skull was still alive. And then, surprise, there he is. He was definitely still alive. So I thought that was really cool. And it's so cool to see, like, you know, the first villain, Captain America, comes across now the Avengers' ultimate villain, Thanos. Loki was also one of the first villains that the Avengers face against, and it was also Thor's first villain, but now he's been killed off. So I thought that was interesting. Who else was like a first villain? Iron Man? No, there was somebody else. Whatever. Now we're about to see one of the most devastating parts in the movie. When Thanos is about to retrieve the Soul Stone. But there is a price. There is a catch, though. In order to retrieve the Soul Stone, you have to sacrifice something you love.
The universe has judged you. You asked it for a prize, and it told you no.
Poor Gamora, man.
You failed. And do you want to know why? Because you love nothing. No one.
Tears. Now I gotta say before it goes on any further, the moment when Red Skull tells Thanos, you know, in order to possess the Soul Stone, it demands a sacrifice of someone you love. I was like, oh my God, what a coincidence that he brought Gamora into this. I mean, I know he loves her. We'll get to that in a bit. So I thought, like, wow, that's gonna suck. I was just like, please, God, no. I like Gamora so much. And I don't blame her. A lot of people were like, why was she oblivious? Of course they're talking about her, that she's gonna die right now. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Because to her, you have to understand, to her, she never believed Thanos loved her. And she even says it, this is not love. No, it can't be. She didn't believe it. That's why she's like, are you kidding me? Like, by the way, guys, another badass soundtrack. This is also one of my favorite soundtracks in the movie. And it is called Even For You. And it sucks that she tried to kill herself, but he stopped her. And then when that moment happens, when he grabs her arm and just drags her like to the edge of that mountain, and just throws her. I was just, I remember this was me in the theater. I was just like, no. Ah, that part, guys. That was a very very sad part for me because I was just like, no, like why? I can't believe you're gonna do that. This is where it's gonna cut people's throats. It's gonna cut your heart. Seeing Gamora dead there when she falls all the way down that mountain to her death. I was just like, oh my god. Now let's talk a little bit about this. When, back to when she was talking to Peter, asking her, promise me you will kill me. Because if Thanos gets me, he knows that I know something that he wants. It just makes me think like, wow, she died someplace far away from her friends, getting killed by this maniac, this insane person. She died away from her friends alone, and it just sucks to think Peter Quill could have killed her in order to avoid any of this from happening. So it just sucks that, she wanted to die, and no. And she ended up dying this way. I think it just sucks. If I was her, I would have wanted Peter to kill me as well instead of having me to go out like this. So I was devastated to see her go like that. I was just like, damn. It did bring tears to my eyes a little bit. I wasn't like, it just did bring tears to me because, I love the character in Guardians of the Galaxy. Once you get attached to a character, I'm sure most of you can relate to that. Once you are so attached to this one character that you like from a show or a movie, and then they end up getting killed, you're just like, damn. You can't help but to have a little tear. You can't help but to feel sadness. So that was like one of the beginning of the first devastation of a character loss for me. So I was just like, no. I was shocked and I was pissed. I was pissed off at Thanos because how could you kill someone you love? I just think if you really truly loved Gamora, you would have not done that. I think love would have been more powerful. But it just showed his love to correct the galaxy his love to bring balance to the galaxy was more important than Gamora. So I was just like, F you, Thanos. Like, god damn it. Pissed me off, man. I didn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. I was just like, What about you guys? Did you feel sad for Gamora? I know a lot of my friends were like, let me tell you this funny part. Let me tell you this. A friend of mine at work, we were talking about it, and I was like, you didn't feel sad? You didn't feel any sadness when Gamora died? He's like, I actually felt more sad for Thanos. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? But I couldn't help but to laugh so bad because I was like, you felt what? You felt more sad for Thanos? He was like, yeah, man, because he killed his own daughter, so I felt so sad for him when he started to cry. I was all like, I was like, oh, you're messed up, man. I felt more sad for Gamora. I had to share that with you guys because I thought that was hilarious. He was crazy. I don't know if he was kidding. He never told me he was JKing, but to this day, I find that funny. So now we're in the part where Thanos' army is coming to Wakanda. This is where things were getting exciting. I was like, oh my god, this is it. And I'm sure we were all like, we felt worried and nervous for the Avengers because it's like, Thanos is very powerful and he has a very powerful army. You should get your artificial intelligence ass back on the table. So now we're in the part where everybody's getting ready for war. And we see the Hulkbuster. The Hulkbuster. I love Black Panther. His accent is just so... Ooh.
You are in Wakanda now. Thanos would have nothing but dust and blood.
We have blood to spare.
I also wanted to mention, they said that those aliens, Thanos' army, little alien creature things, dog-looking things, spider or whatever you call them, they look like Venom, one of Spider-Man's arch enemies. And I thought, oh, okay, yeah, I kind of see that. But they haven't confirmed. I don't know. I haven't heard anything that they confirmed that they really are those things. I love this part. In history. And it would be the noblest ending in history. Now this is where the charge starts. I was so worried for all of them because I was like, you're dealing with alien beings and there's like a whole bunch of them. I don't want any of the people from Wakanda to die, but it's like the only chance they have. It's like the only army they have at the moment, so it's like, where else are they going to get another army? And then watching some of the people from Wakanda getting hurt, I was just like, no, damn it!
You're about to take the full force of a star.
We will kill you.
And if I die,
Yes. That's what
Killing you means. I was like, okay, when Thor had to do that thing, pull the little things, I was like, yeah, have another sexy man show off his guns, his muscles, like Chris Evans did in Captain America Winter Soldier. A lot of, not only were the women were impressed, but the men too. I've heard you men, you were like, damn. When Chris Evans was trying to pull the helicopter and hold on to the edge of the whatever it was, and he was showing them guns, I was just like, oh my god. And then now they had to have Thor do that too. Just like, of course, they have to impress the ladies. And to encourage the men out there, like, hey, go get in shape. Damn Thor. And after Thor fainted, and his head got, when his head got hit by that metal thing, and then it just like knocked out. It just knocked him out right out.
Say something. Are you okay? I think he's dying.
he needs the axe.
Oh, and Groot. Another badass moment when Groot finally does something. It was so awesome. I love that scene so much. When Groot like finally gets up and helps out, he finally does something. And he gets the axe together with his hand. And he was able to lift it up, and then he just chops it off. I'm just like, wow, that is so epic. He is such a badass. Because the moment when he sees Thor get hurt, he's like, like he liked Thor a lot. He's like, he's cool, you know. And then he saw him got hurt. He's like, I gotta do something. And that was just so epic. It was just this cool moment to shine. And then back at the war, the fight, everybody was like losing. Black Panther was just being tossed around. Captain America was close to getting killed. And then the Hulk bolster was being torn to pieces. I was just like, oh my god. Another badass moment when Thor comes in and saves everybody. And his new axe, his new weapon. Oh, I love it. The music and everything when he pops out with Rocket and Groot's. Everybody in the audience, even I, was like, yes! Oh, that's what we need. You guys are so screwed now. And I love their reaction. I love that too. Bring me Thanos! I was like, oh yeah, where the hell is he? Ah, yes. It was such an epic moment, that part. There was so many epic moments in that part. Groot getting the axe together, chopping off his hand, and then Thor coming in to save his friends. Oh my god. We're in the part where Thanos comes back to his homeworld Titan to meet up with Ebony Maw, but he finds out he's dead. And he comes across Doctor Strange, who has the Time Stone. So guys, this is where we're going to have to end the video, but I want to thank you all so much for watching. I really do hope you enjoyed this. we will definitely continue talking more about Avengers Infinity War, about the highlights, the favorite characters, all that good stuff in the next video. So I hope to see you guys there. Don't forget, Avengers Endgame is coming out very, very soon. It's on April 26th. I hope you got your tickets reserved. If you need to rewatch Avengers Infinity War, it's out everywhere in stores, and also it's also on Netflix. So you have Netflix, it's also there as well, so you can rewatch it. So yeah, thank you all so much once again, and I'll see you all hopefully in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.